welcoming you forward into the future with more Moorish news. I am your host, M.D. Lavelle, and my guests here are Sheik Jackson Bey and Grand Sheik Lavelle of the Moorish Science Temple of America as a body politic. And we're talking about the case, that court case that broke the Roman seal. What a court case. That battle, that court battle that broke the Roman seal is just as real as I am sitting here speaking to you. Well, why don't the world know about it? Well, maybe it's because the Moorish Science Temple of America has been one of the greatest secrets of all times because of the birthright it holds for the so-called Negro, colored, black, African American, who in fact is the indigenous people of this land. That's right. You are indigenous to this land. So when it's time for everyone to go home, guess where your home is? Right here. You don't have to go anywhere. And we have always been here. We are those so-called Indians. And I mentioned to you that after this show, you will not be the same. Your job is to, however, pray so that your eyes can be open and the scales can be removed so you can see. Because sometimes you got to look deeper because trust and believe what you're looking for is already here in front of your face. I want to speak to the Grand Sheik on what exactly it's going to do now that that Roman seal has been broken. Once the state and the county respect what has been put forth on the record in court, what exactly is going to occur to the Moors and with the Moors, Grand Sheik? Because we understand that we're supposed to be assuming a certain position within the nations of the earth. So now that that seal has been broken, it's a time for the Moors here in North America to unite. It's okay you didn't know about what was going on. It's okay the trust is buried, and some are going to say, oh my goodness, is that real? Yes, it is real. We have the living proof, and you shall see. Please tell me, what are some of the things, Grand Sheik, that we're going to be coming into now that that Roman seal has been broken, the Moors here in North America?
All right, I also wanted to put out there that the case number is 17CH4625. Could you confirm that for me, Sheikas, on
Islam.
The transcript?
Case number 17CH04516. That is 17 C as in Charles, H as in Happy, 04516. And that case is Moorish Science Temple of America plaintiff versus State of Illinois et al., meaning the county as well, defendants.
Okay, well, and the question that you asked with regards to how does this affect us all economically? When we go into Act 6 of the Divine Constitution and Bylaws for the Moorish Science Temple of America, the prophet explains to us that we are a part and partial of the said government, and I'm quoting that in part. So how we get access to being part and partial of the said government is by accessing a body politic that has already been accepted as a per contract with the state of Illinois. So much like you see the Vatican moving or the synagogue, the Moorish Science Temple of America is a religious body politic that basically acts as a sanctuary. So I don't know if anybody understands the concept of sanctuary in the church.
Let's talk about Esmeralda and that case with the Mexican
Elian
counselor,
Gonzalez.
Elian Gonzalez.
Yes.
Let's give a real and animated view.
Right, correct. So the church presents a sanctuary. So there, it means that's a shelter and there's a covering for those who may have been sought after through law enforcement. So the situation with Elias Gonzalez, they were looking to deport him or his mother, more specifically, back to Cuba. Okay, but as long as they stayed in the church, they were protected from any interaction from the body politic. So the church is respected as a body politic. The Moorish Science Temple of America is respected as a body politic. It's a contract that has already been accepted, and it allows us to take our place amongst the affairs of men. It allows us to actually fulfill positions of government. We have positions like governor, grand sheik, chairman, and these are also secular roles as well as religious.
And for my babies, I want to vamp on that Hunchback of Notre Dame. When Esmeralda ran into that temple, she was being chased by soldiers. And as long as she remained in that temple, as you recall, children, she was untouched. She was protected. Grand Sheik, Sheik Jackson Bey, can you expound on that information as well?
Islam, Grand Sheik, is absolutely. Also, to camelback on the demonstration of the Grand Sheik, we must understand that Prophet Noble Drew Ali established the Moorish Science Temple of America as a rest haven and a reservoir for the Moors. He states numerously throughout the Circle 7 Moorish Holy Quran how essential and important it is for us to worship under our own vine and fig tree. This affords us our ability to be ourselves, because he tells us to know ourselves and our Father God Allah. As was indicated, already stated in reference to Alien Gonzalez, many of our Asiatic brothers and sisters who are in fact Muslims, as the Grand Sheik indicated, Alien Gonzalez and his family were from Cuba. Cubans would say Cuba, and they are also Muslims. So that, in fact, was not even a house that he should have been in. But the Moorish Science Temple of America was not an option at that time. So in essence, what we have done now is we provided in real time the opportunity and the option and the reservoir for protection of the various Asiatics who are in fact Muslims and Moorish Americans by way of nationality, that protection from what? Commercial injury, from liens, from extortion, etc. Islam?
Thank you very much, brother. What we have now as a result of that Roman seal being broken is the assurance of economic security. And what that is a position, declaration intended to give confidence. You know, we have certain people in our lives, when they open up their mouth, automatically your confidence is boosted all the way up to the hilt. And when a promise that has been made by the prophet has been resurrected, it means one thing: it's time to live, which brings us to our convention 2017, Convention of the Moorish Science Temple of America, October 2017. What are you going to be doing during the convention? I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be celebrating. I am going to be socializing with my Moorish kindred that's coming in town from all over. I'm going to be looking forward to that costume ball and the good Moorish food that we're going to be feasting upon. I am going to be making sure that I can have love at the top of my heart, so that the Moors that are coming here to Moorish Mecca can be fused up. They can be powered up with that love vibration, because now that the Roman seal has been broken, we as a nation of people can open our hearts to one another and share, because this planet was created for all people, all nationalities, to be uplifted, to enjoy, to continue and replenish the earth. So for those who don't believe, you have a right. And from your perspective, you are also right. But for the convention time, October 2017, I welcome all of the believers in the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, a great man that has been sent by the great God to help uplift fallen humanity. Come with your love in your heart. Come looking forward to the best time you've ever had. Sheik, what are some of the things that we're looking forward to doing in this Moorish convention, October 2017?
Well, Islam, Grand Sheik, because I think the most important component is for us to come together, as you indicated, under the
Islam.
supreme grand principle of love. And the purpose of the convention, as you indicated, the Moors all convene here to Moorish Mecca, and it's a show of force and unity and a reflection to the world that the Moors are here and in fact resurrected. Islam?
Absolutely. Talking about that insurance, Grand Sheik, because it's been so long we've been living and suffering silently, watching families fall apart. And so long, the Prophet has had this feast before us in the form of this convention to keep our hearts mended, to keep all of the adepts in tune with one another, and to bring about this Moorish chivalry, which is not dead. Sisters, I salute you and all that you do out there to help keep the children educated and to keep the nation uplifted, supporting all of the brothers that are out here uplifting fallen humanity. And I want you to know, sisters, that Moorish chivalry is not dead. And the brothers that are listening, please, please, brothers, let it be known to the goddesses and the mothers of the universe, because Allah has not forgotten about us. Grand Sheik, I want you to, first of all, I want to thank my guests for coming here in the name of Allah. I want to thank my viewers and the listeners in the audience for coming here, and my guests for coming here, because what we have right now is an opportunity, convention coming up, to unite the Moorish Science Temple of America as a body politic. And for those who are not aware of the Moorish Science Temple of America as a body politic, with this 2017 convention in October coming up, I need you to do one thing simply, because it's been said, if you ask, you shall receive. If you knock, the door is going to be open to you. And if you seek, you're going to find. I would like to ask the entire planet to prepare yourself for one of the greatest galas you've ever seen. The beauty, the love, the strength, I should say, the people that are responsible for putting this world on the map. The Moors, the Moorish American Muslims here in North America. We're about to show you a time of your lives. For all the foreigners that are here in our territory, upon our land, we welcome you. We welcome you, all foreign sympathizers.
You had a question for me about the convention?
I'd like to ask, yes, Grand Sheik, I do. As a matter of fact, I have a question about the convention. What are your plans for the convention 2017 with all of the officers that are coming up to receive proof of that battle that was won in the courts, the circuit courts of Cook County here in Illinois in Chancery? What are your plans for the Grand Sheiks that are coming to Mecca?
Let me just give a brief background on what the convention is and what it's all about. It is actually the action of government, and it is a reenactment of the Hajj, where we all come together. It's a pilgrimage. So it connects us with the greater Islamic Ummah with regards to all of us coming together. It is the purpose for us all coming together so that we can build a community and build that safe haven and that sanctuary. So the plan and the goal is for all of the delegates, all of the temples who desire to link up with us, to send delegates in to the convention. And in doing so, we can bring up all of the issues that we are facing and collectively deal with those issues. So the first thing that we are going to get into is building our body politic and the community within, because there has to be an oasis. Basically, we have our own rules and our own structure that's set up. Just like you have Chinatown, Little Italy, Little Mexico. Well, finally, the body politic being put in place allows us to be able to designate a piece of the rock. So the convention is actually action of government where the officials, the heads of temples and the grand sheiks and the governors and any other representatives that are sent in by their respective temples are sent here to Mecca from not just the states, but the whole world over.
Islam.
Islam?
So what we want here is unity. And the reason that I felt necessary in my heart to come before the world and the nations of the earth is because now is the time. What the great God has sent through Noble Jew Ali is for the entire world. I am reaching out to my brothers and my sisters here in North America in the spirit of love and unity, asking that you search your hearts. Please search your hearts, brothers and sisters, because our time that we have on this planet has already been marked by the great God, and time is short. I can say time is short because of the signs and the symbols that are before us all, and we know it's for the conscious mind. I am saying to my brothers and sisters, let's unite today. It's okay to do what you're doing now. I'm saying let us come together as a family, the Moors. How could you know if it was buried? How could you know that this was a body politic if it was buried? How could you know, members, that you were in a not-for-profit corporation if the body politic was buried? It's okay. What's important right now, brothers and sisters, strong men and women, is for those who love the Prophet Noble Jew Ali and those who love Allah and unity, because this is what the Prophet was sent for, to bind our hearts together once again as a family so we can move forward in our body politic. Because Cook County is a body politic, isn't that right, Grand Sheik? And you know, body politic usually have rules and regulations to help establish peace and order in a community. And since our forefathers are responsible for bringing many nations up out of the dark ages, responsible for the mathematics, responsible for the law, responsible, help me out, brothers, responsible for the sciences, astrology, medicine. There you have
Everything.
it. So why should we fight one another on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and every other social media when we can use those forms of communication
That's how we
to
failed
link
and got
up?
to slavery in the first place, by straying after strange gods of Europe whom we knew nothing of, and by battling each other and being at war with one another. That was the whole issue, the conflict that came about. But see, the convention and things that we're doing now, it's all about bringing us together.
Indeed.
It's like the prophet said, he says that he was the founder of the uniting of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Come on now.
Islam.
So that was prophecy being put into the manifest.
Come on
How
now.
could you say that the Moorish Science Temple of America was united back then? You mean to tell me that it was united during the time of the founder?
Islam.
Well, it was something that the founder did to make sure that the Moorish Science Temple of America would be united in this day and time. Because see,
So what was it that he did, brother?
well,
You're saying.
what he did was he set us up a body politic.
Islam.
And
That's what this is.
And this is part of
brothers
the
and
reason why
sisters.
it was added to the back of the 101, so that every member would have a copy. And every member would be able to research and study and investigate what he did. Can you imagine if the Prophet Noble Jew Ali only shared this with the members in the Adab chamber, what would occur? We would never know about it.
Islam.
You see? So the Prophet Noble Jew Ali knew that the conspiracy was so great that he had to make sure that all of the members would have access to what he did. Just like when we hear the story about the $1 bill and the signs and symbols being put on the $1 bill rather than the $100 bill. The Prophet Noble Jew Ali wanted to be that sign of the Great Pyramid to be on the $1 bill so everybody would see it and everybody would be able to identify that you had two government seals on one piece of currency.
Which
Islam.
represented there were two nations involved in that currency.
And this is symbolic of the Peace and Friendship Treaty,
Islam.
where two nations came together to end decades and millennia of war.
Absolutely.
So what we have to do is we have to really understand that even though that truth has been in place, we still are in the position of the Moors, and the Saracens and the Berbers. We have forgotten our position in this great war. Just because there was a truce doesn't mean that the war ended. It means that there was a time of peace for a while. Much like when we see in the Circle 7 Koran, where they crucified Yeshua according to their law, and then there was peace until Muhammad I came upon the scene. So now, what we need to do is we need to understand that it's necessary for all of the subordinate temples to come unto compliance and come under the recognition of the one body politic. It was meant for us to unite, much like you see the Vatican and how the cardinal and the bishops come together. They are all connected. They're all together.
Absolutely.
So the sheiks and the sheikahs are
Absolutely.
all together, and we're
Yes,
supposed
we
to
are.
come together within the body politic. So the convention is designed for all of the heads of government
Absolutely.
to come together and to build and
And
bring
I
our
know we
resources
could
together.
do it. I
Islam.
know we can make it. I know it is in us, and I know today we must do it. And the reason we must come together is because we have our children. Our babies must be saved, and the women must be rescued. And we are counting on our men. Yes, we are. We're counting on the man that lives inside of us, and we're to resurrect, because inside of every woman there is a man, and inside of every man there is a woman.
Islam.
It takes male and feminine, masculine and feminine energies to make up this temple that we all reside in. I am saying to my brothers and sisters and to the Moors all over, no matter who you are and wherever you are, it is time to come out with your heart in the spirit of love. We're not asking you to come up under anything. No, this is not an under movement. This movement is a front and center movement. What we're asking our brothers and sisters to do today is to come into compliance with what the Prophet, Noble Jew Ali, has put in place for all of us. We all have been ignorant to something at one point in our lives. But today, brothers and sisters, I am not too proud to beg. I beg of you to come on home to our body politic. And here is what's waiting. Our schools for our children, our playgrounds for our children, our community centers for our children, our campgrounds for our children, our hospitals for our elderly and children, our grocery stores, our banks, our condominiums, our property, our real estate, our temples, and much, much more checks for all of our people. It is not a 40 acres and a mule situation. My good people, I love you with a love that will never die. It is 5 whole continents, people. North America, South America, Central America, Mexico, and those few little islands that are standing. Because Allah did not take all of Atlantis. He left a portion of it, just like He's going to do in the event that the blockers do not back up off of our estate and lose the finances so that this temple and so that can be erected on 37. Is that 37?
37th
And Federal, that
That's the
brand new
site.
temple, that's the site, is going to start. The bricks are going to be laid down because the
Breaking
Roman
ground.
seal
Break
has been
ground.
broken. So we're going to be breaking ground, yes.
So breaking ground comes after breaking the Roman seal in the court.
Absolutely.
Court battle of a century. And also to let the audience know, we will be making this information available to the public.
We have
because,
transcripts,
the people
fresh
begin
transcripts that have been
men
picked up.
comprehend things by what they see and
Islam.
do. And no other administration has put it out there like this.
And so we're not asking
we
you to
have
believe us.
A transcript, and we have the documentation, we have the proof.
Yes, we do.
We're not
because
just giving you
the proof
hot
is in
air.
the pudding.
The proof is
The
in
proof
the
is in the
pudding.
pudding.
Islam.
This is the greatest court battle, and this is just a little of it, okay, as you can see. The books are
It's
ready.
extensive. Islam.
It is extensive, and you're looking at the 3 councils that is still standing before. Our ruling is going to be handed down, good
September
people,
19th.
September 19th, 2017.
Which is only going to acknowledge the fact.
It's
of what it
acknowledging
is.
what
It's
we
already
already
done
know,
by the
but we
prophet,
have
Islam.
here in the transcript the fact that Cook County counselor has concurred that in fact the Moorish Science Temple of America is a body politic.
Islam.
I want to thank you all for taking the time to look, and I'd like to have the Sheik Jackson Bey give his last remarks because we're coming to an end of this show. Sheik Jackson Bey, give the people what they need in the spirit of how the spirit is moving you right now, brother, and thank you so much.
Islam, and thank you, Grand
Islam.
Sheik Islam. Well, I think that what our people need to know and understand is nationality is in fact and indeed the order of the day. Our people need to learn to love instead of hate. And this is the venue and the reservoir that Allah has chosen to erect, to put in place for our people to have refuge so that we can have peace. Because we operate and live by the supreme grand principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Islam?
Islam.
Thank you so much, Grand Sheik, Sheik Jackson Bey, for that drawing. Grand Sheik, you want to close things out right quick?
Yes, ma'am. All praises due to Allah, and we want to send our love out there to all the people.
Sending you
And-
all love.
And for our convention, listen, we love you all with a never dying love. Islam.
Thank you so
Islam.
much. I have enjoyed myself. I hope you all have enjoyed this show. As I mentioned to you, you will not be the same. Take this information and John Q it. That's right. Do something. Make a decision for yourself to begin to love again. Start with loving yourself and then share that love with me. Give me a call so we can begin to build today. We've suffered too long, people. We've waited for this day all our lives, and we love each other. Let us move forward in the spirit of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, welcoming you into the future. Forward to the future. Peace.
Peace.